Welcome back to the channel. This one's going to be spicy. Microsoft consistently seems to take 2 steps forward and then 2 steps back, and nothing comes together. Opposites don't attract. I'm a child of the 80s. But recently, the free-to-play multiplayer beta was released, and a lot of people are talking positively about it. But there's one thing that's sticking out like a sore thumb, and that's progression. Experience in a multiplayer shooter is something that just should come standard. Now, I'm not a multiplayer gamer, but I've played tons of games over the years, and I've even dabbled in multiplayer. And if they had contacted me, which they wouldn't because I'm nobody in the industry, but I'm just trying to give you an example as nobody in the industry being contacted, and they say, hey, check out this suite of multiplayer features that we have for Halo Infinite, and there's no experience whatsoever, I would probably be able to tell them, this is not going to fly. People are going to be upset. You can't just change everything to be different. And that's where I think they didn't. They didn't change it just to be different. They changed it because they wanted it to be changed. They wanted the everyone gets a trophy version of multiplayer because they want the largest pool of consumers and players to choose from because of that monetization and those microtransactions. Now, to be fair, I'm hearing that you can turn off crossplay in the ranked matches, and that's fine, but not having experience goes beyond just the crossplay thing. It's trying to get all people, to feel like they're making a contribution, to basically feel like they don't suck if they suck in a multiplayer game, which I do. So for me, sucking and not getting a lot of experience and not leveling up and then seeing somebody who's great, that's normal to me. The idea of, hey, I'm going to be the same as somebody who's really, really good at this multiplayer and spent countless hours at it is a foreign idea to me. But to Microsoft, and I want to say 343, but I'm kind of thinking this is a Microsoft decision because I know that anybody who's been making games for a long time, especially multiplayer-centric games, understands the idea of progression and experience, but I really think they butted heads with corporate Microsoft in the sense that, hey, there's no turning off crossplay in the casual games. We want the largest pool of consumers. If we have 20 people playing, we may have 3 people buying microtransactions. If we have 40 people playing, we now have 6 people, and you just keep increasing the base and increasing the amount of people willing to buy things in the game. That's the strategy going forward. But now it looks like they're going to fix it. My question is, how does this happen? I know that they've seen a lot of the complaints, and there's been a lot of damage done with the Xbox One generation. They've done great things since then. They've done great things with Halo since then. By all accounts, the campaign is stellar and the multiplayer is very good. People who are playing it are enjoying it, but they're complaining about this one thing. The big question is, how does it get to this point? How do they consistently come out doing really, really good things that you wouldn't expect, and then the very next day there's some tone-deaf response or decision made that sort of brings them back? You know what I mean? They go forward, they come back. I don't know how this continually happens. And you think about the whole thing with the Xbox Live Gold and raising the price astronomically just to get you to force to subscribe to Game Pass. How did that happen? How did they not know that people weren't going to complain? It's the same sort of tone deafness that I just don't get, and it's happened here with Halo. They are fixing it, but again, it's about getting the largest base of players. It's about getting everybody on the same playing field. It's about handing out the trophy to everyone. I think it's a bad way to design a game. I'm fine with sucking. I'm fine with being destroyed by great gamers who are playing Halo 24/7 on their consoles. What I'm not happy about is having to worry about some 14-year-old with a really great mouse and keyboard and some nefarious software helping him snipe me from 4,000 miles away in between reaching into a bag of Doritos. So this is where I start to think about things like, you can play where you want with who you want. That's our mantra. When everyone plays, we all win. Well, I can't play with who I want when it comes to Halo because you're forcing me to do crossplay. So that mantra really is just BS, along with the same mantra that we believe in generations, plural, because if you did believe in generations, plural, then all the other generations of PlayStation games would be available. You're the only one not doing backwards compatibility, but you're allowing those games to be streamed on PlayStation Now, which is absolutely terrible. Nobody wants to stream video games. So you see where I'm going with this. These slogans, these ideas from both companies, they don't mean anything. What's happening is, I think there's a disconnect between the creators of games and corporate version of the respective companies that they work for. So I have no doubt that Microsoft said, we want a progression system that keeps everyone, even the people that suck, in, because then we have a larger base of consumers to monetize these microtransactions too. And by the way, these microtransactions are insane. And again, it can't be 343 thinking of this stuff. There has to be some sort of pushback from corporate Microsoft saying this is what we need, this is what we want. And again, the idea that Game Pass wasn't going to change games in any way, shape, or form. You can't put games in a service like this for $1 or for even $15 a month and not expect some form of really aggressive monetization. Hopefully things can change. I think that they will. I don't think this is a big deal, something to be super upset about. The game looks really fun. People are having a great time. And again, for me, the campaign looks to be one of the best Halo campaigns in a long time. I'm very excited about that. So what do you think? Have you played Halo multiplayer? Do you think the experience system is the worst ever and it's going to kill the game outright? Are you happy that they addressed it with this sort of experience that everyone gets at the end of every match, and hopefully they fix it going forward? Or are you fine with it? Do you not think it's that big of a deal? And let me know what you think about these mantras like, you can play what you want, more importantly, with who you want, because you really can't do that. And again, there's another one. I keep saying and again a lot. There is another mantra like, we believe in generations, and clearly they only believe in one generation, and that's the generation that they're in, because the other generations that they've had really great games in, they're all locked or put behind a really awful streaming service. So gotta give props to Microsoft and Xbox for at least bringing forward a lot, and I mean a lot, of their past games to have them playable natively if you own them, or the ability to purchase them in this generation that you're in. So that's it for the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.